So what are we actually building? Welcome to part 3 of Solo Unicorn. My name is Louis Newman. I'm a former Royal Marines Commando, now building a solo unicorn, trying to build a billion-dollar company without employees, without co-founders, without venture capital, just using myself and LLMs and agents to build it and deliver this value for customers. So we're going to really deep dive into the actual platform we're building, what that actually means for our customers, how they get value out of it. So trying to be a money machine, you put $1 in, you get $10 out. We're trying to build an entire sales team for all companies, for them to just hire us and they just pay per meeting. Brilliant. But what does that actually mean under the hood? What is involved in that? This actually involves several AI agents. We first need to understand you as a customer. So we need to understand your ideal customer profile, who is exact personality you're reaching out to. What do they look like? What's their name? What do they do? How do they do it? What's their life like? What are their pains? What are their issues? What does their whole company look like? Who do they hire? Who in that company has the decision-making capability? We need to really nail that individual avatar down to what do they do? What are their hobbies? What is their life experience? We nail that down by understanding who buys your product, what problem are you solving, and then what is your solution for that problem. Let's start with the problem. What exact problem are you solving for customers? What do they pay you for? Once we've nailed down that, we then look at your solution and how your solution solves that problem. Excellent. So if it's a software solution or a robot solution for, say, a manufacturing company, we've got a robotic arm for a manufacturing company that speeds up pipeline by them not having to hire people to move something from this line to that line or put it from that line into a box. Excellent. So who signs off on purchasing that for the manufacturing company? Is it the owner of the manufacturing company? Depends on the size of the manufacturing company. Are we reaching out to manufacturing companies where they generally do this much in revenue and have this many employees? What are the signals to say that they're now at a point where they can afford your product? And then who at that company has the decision-making capability? If it's not the owner, is it the site manager or the line manager? Then we nail down that exact ICP. Who usually fills that role as that site manager or line manager? What age do they tend to be? How long have they been in the industry? What are the exact problems they're facing in their day-to-day lives that cause them to need to search for a solution like yours with the robotic arm? Excellent. Okay, so our first agent tries to understand that. We do that in a couple of onboarding calls to try and understand your customer to see if you're a right fit. But then we also do that with our agents to understand that ideal customer profile, ICP, and then we write down your whole problem that you're solving, like down to the finesse, and then we go on to your style of solution for that problem. Once we've filled out that form to really understand who we're going to find, at what companies, in what countries, what sort of size they are, what do people search online to find your companies, and who are those sort of people, okay? Once we understand who that is, we can reverse engineer it to understand what do we search online to find those exact companies. Then we can go and search those companies and look at those companies, who works there, who is the person in the position of authority to make a decision to solve that problem. Okay, so that's our first agent, is understanding your ICP, problem and solution. Our second is the automated prospecting agent, and that is the one that goes out into Google and searches the whole of the web looking for that exact person that you need to reach out to solve that problem. What are people searching to find that company? And then we're going to go, what would they write on their website for someone looking for that style of manufacturers? And we're going to go and search for those manufacturers. We're going to find the decision makers at those companies. We're going to find all their profiles online. We're going to find their online presence. It might be very small. They might just have a really basic HTML website. If that's the case, we need to reach out to that company to find who is the decision maker on these sorts of automations. Great. Okay, so we've got our prospecting agent. Our prospecting agent now then goes and finds these companies. Okay, we've got our whole list of companies who would be really perfect to reach out to. Once we've got those list of companies, we find the people at them. Okay, brilliant. We've now got a list of people at the right companies that we need to reach out to. What's next? Okay, now we've got this list of people. We need to understand them in detail, understand why they're suffering with this problem, why they'd be really good to reach out to right now. Why is now the time when they need this problem solved? Excellent. Okay. We've then got this researching agent that goes and finds all of that. With that, we create individual little tools that research agent can call to better understand that company. So if we need to understand their tech stack, so what's the technology they're using under the hood? What sort of machines they use? What have they been posting online? What is their SEO of their website? All these sorts of things, we can create little tools that the agent can then use to then deeply understand that exact person that we're going to reach out to. Excellent. So now we're looking at solving the first part of that problem. This comes back to what we talked about yesterday. We go on to lead magnets. The point of this research agent is to deeply understand that prospect and their exact problem so that we can then solve it. For example, if we were a company that helped other companies with their LinkedIn, we would want to understand their LinkedIn, what they're currently posting, understand the makeup of their profile picture. So we've got little tools to then go and analyze their profile picture, analyze their profile. If we come back to the manufacturing company, we want to analyze the images from their website to understand what tools they currently have, what they're using. We need to understand their current website. So how attuned to using technology are they? If they're using a very old HTML website, it might be hard to get them to evolve. How can we reframe that message to them to say, okay, we're still using these tools. We've got an HTML website. Have you thought about taking your company to the next level and modernizing the company? It just edits how we're going to reach out to these companies, and we're going to call all these tools so that we can build up that picture and so we can solve the first part of their problem. Now we talk about the lead magnets. That lead magnet is that first part of their problem, that first solution to their problem. So we've got a couple of options for lead magnets. We've got the first step in solving that problem, revealing the problem, or a free trial of yours. The best thing that we can provide on an online lead magnet for their company without deeply involving ourselves in their day-to-day operations, without them having to sign up, is by giving them that first step in their solution. So if that is a manufacturing company who use mobile robotic arms, we could look at the current technology they're currently using in their manufacturing line and show them. So this would be an example of showing them the problem they've got. We could create a lead magnet which is showing them, okay, you're losing this much time by having a manual process. This is how much time you could save. This is the likely revenue you generate just from applying this solution. As a result, this is how much you're losing every year compared to how much it would cost. And it's just a simple return on investment calculator in that lead magnet. That would be showing them the problem. If we were to take them one forward in the solution, we could reimagine their pipeline, and the first step in that solution would be designing their new pipeline. So this would be your old pipeline. This is your new pipeline. If we have the robotic arm in here and it's moving them in, this is what it would look like. This is the first step in solving that problem. Again, we could still have the ROI calculator in there to highlight the problem to them further. So that's the lead magnet. We do that research. Coming back to our AI agents, we've done that research, and that research is to be able to write them an email that's going to get them to reply to it and offer them that value up front. And B, we want enough information in that research to be able to create that initial lead magnet and solution for them when they say yes. So we first take that research, we turn it into the emails that are going to get their reply from the right person. We then send them out, and there's a very simple yes or no. Looks like you're suffering from this problem. Would you like us to solve it? Do you want us to send over the solution that we've put together? As soon as we get that yes, we send out a link to that lead magnet, and that's where the last AI agent comes in, and that takes the research and it builds that lead magnet on a web page for us to then send to that client. So what does that client then get? So we've got an AI agent that builds a lead magnet. That lead magnet is their solution. So if it was an example of the first step, so redesigning their pipeline and then highlighting the problem to them, it's going to show that old pipeline, it's going to show that new pipeline, what they're going to look like. We can even generate some images if we need to. We can show them some graphs. Then we'll have maybe a return on investment calculator of what that's going to look like, how much they're going to save each year by employing this technology, and how much extra they can make by employing this technology, by having extra throughput, and how much that's going to cost for them to apply that solution. We're then going to have your video sales letter within that lead magnet itself. And a video sales letter is really important. This is the standard pitch that you probably give every single time you get on a sales call. You're going to talk them through that offer of what you can do. What is the rest of the solution? We've sold the first part. What does the rest of that partnership look like? We want to put that in a video sales letter so they can see the value. We want to give them an offer that feels so good it feels stupid saying no, to quote Alex Hormozy. I don't know why I pointed up. There's books of his just there, but it's a bit weird if I point up. He's all right. He posted a video earlier today. I saw it, so don't worry. Yeah, there's no weird reason for me pointing up. Maybe I should point that way in terms of American geographically with the UK. I digress. So yeah, we're going to have that video sales letter, and that's going to be that initial pitch. And we're going to show them an offer that feels so good it feels stupid saying no. And it's just going to outline what that partnership's going to look like, introducing yourself, talking them through why you've given them this initial part of the solution, what the rest of the solution looks like. And they've just got this for free. And the idea is to get them to think, wow, this is really good. What do I get if I pay for it? Then we've got a video sales letter. Underneath that, we're just going to stack loads of proof of all your testimonials, everything that you've got from previous customers. So video testimonials are the best. And if we just stack those video testimonials, they're scrolling down the lead magnet, they absorb all the value, they see your video sales letter, which is you then pitching, but you're explaining the partnership as opposed to saying, give me your time. It's what does the rest of the value look like? Let's have a look at this full solution. And then we're going to stack that proof. And that proof is we map out all of your customers and we find customers that are the most aligned. And then we just layer them from most aligned customers at the top as they go down. So put it this way, if you had two customers that were twins, identical twins, and one of them had just bought this product, we want the second identical twin to come in, see the value, see the video sales letter, and then see their twin. We want someone as like them as possible so that they can imagine themselves in that position, absorbing that value too. We stack that proof, and then there's a really simple call to action, which is to book a call with you. And that's what we're selling at Magnetite. We find the prospects, we understand their problem, we solve a little bit of it for them, we send an email to them asking if they want that solution, if they want us to just quickly send that over to them. When they say yes, we give them the solution, they see your video sales letter, they stack the proof, and then they book a meeting. And that is the full pipeline of what we're selling at Magnetite. We get a customer by proving your value first. We put your value at the pinnacle of the sale. So it's value first sales. We want you to be able to prove yourself before you ask for anything. But yeah, so that is part 3 of Solo Unicorn, talking you through the actual product. Quite a lot there. So far in the last day, we've just been finishing up that first agent that understands you. We've already got the prospecting agent that's built, that works well. We've got a researching agent that's built and it works well. We've got the agent that builds that lead magnet that works well. It's just building that first agent to get people on, understand that customer, ideal customer profile, understand your problem, understand your solution, then we'll have the full thing. And it's just getting that initial agent. What I've been struggling with today, the joys have been being able to go out and find proof from all over the internet, including places like G2 that really do not want us to be able to automatically get any of these reviews. Take those reviews and slot them directly in your lead magnet so you don't have to copy and paste each of your reviews in. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. And then we just need to get people on board. We've got our initial group of customers to start running through this pipeline. We manage the emails ourselves, and that's managed all deliverability, all email addresses, all domains, all managed by us. All you've got to do is take the meetings at the end as customers. So yeah, really exciting. that wraps up day 3 or part 3. Come back tomorrow, and it's only pain. Keep going. See you in the next one.